Hi guys, my name's Doug. I'm a member of the technical service group here at Task Force Tips. And this video we're doing today isn't so much of a how to fix it video. This video is more of a how to install it and then program it type of video. In this video we're going to show you how to install the wireless radio kit and an electric remote monitor. And then we'll go through the linking procedure for a wireless remote and a wireless remote with display. On the next slide, you're going to see all the items required to do this installation. Take a look at that. We'll meet back here. Okay, we're back at the monitor here. The first thing to point out, you'll maybe notice in the video, the power light is on. Anytime you're working on any of the TFT electronic equipment, we like the power to be off. We don't want to be doing any hot swap of parts. This monitor is powered through this display card so simply I'm just going to use the quick connect Deutsch plug at the inlet of the monitor as my power cycle or my power switch. You can do the same as well in the field. You can just unplug the Deutsch plug coming into the monitor. That'll kill power, and the lack of the power light indicates to us that the power is off. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the lid from the monitor. On this monitor, this uses a 3mm socket head screw. So we'll go ahead and we'll loosen those. There's no need to remove them all the way from the lid because they are retained into the lid with an O-ring. So as you're backing those out, you'll see those quick coming out and they'll disengage from the threads in the box. That you can stop there. Now, when we get all the screws loose, I do want to caution you, the lid is attached to the communication board inside the monitor via a ribbon cable, a green ribbon cable. It's basically the contact traces that transfer the button presses to the communication board. So don't just willy-nilly pull that lid straight off. You may unplug the ribbon cable. It's just a caution. If that were to happen, all's not lost. Here's the ribbon cable. It can be reinserted. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it. That way you can see how it disconnects and if you need to reinsert it. So the two little wings here, you just pull up on the outer edges. That will release the ribbon cable and you can set the lid aside. Now again, as I mentioned, power's off. So we're going to go ahead and remove the communication board. It's the smallest board on the far left of the monitor. We need to remove that to give access to the antenna plug that we're going to be removing. First thing we want to do is unplug the communication plug from the top of the communication board. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, electrostatic discharge or ESD is a concern anytime you're working on electronics. So if as you're working on these, you want to be careful that you're not transferring static discharge to the boards. So if you're on a metal surface or something, just touch the metal surface, a grounded metal surface, just to dissipate that discharge that you may have when you're working on these boards. Simply pull the board out, wiggle it back and forth a little bit. It's just a tension fit. It'll come out. Set that aside. We're going to use that later. That'll give us access inside the box here. We need to remove the plug where the antenna is going to install. The interior nut is an 18mm nut. The plug on the outside is 17mm. So we're just going to hold those, remove that nut. Get it loose to a point we can just take it off with our fingers. Retrieve the nut out of the box. That'll leave us with a through hole in the box where the antenna is going to install. In the radio kit, you'll get the appropriate antenna, be it 900 megahertz, 2.4 gigahertz, or 920 megahertz. You'll notice on the antenna fitting, we've got this hex shape. There's a hex receptacle on the side of the box that antenna will fit into to keep it from rotating. Also very important on the antenna, there's an O-ring. This O-ring is what prevents the water intrusion into the electronics. Most people know water in electronics is never good, so you want to make sure that that O-ring is in there, properly seated, and not rolled or pinched so that it can make a good seal against the box. It also comes with a new locking nut, just like we removed. Fish the antenna connection through that hole. Pull the excess slack through. The kit will also come with blue Loctite. Apply some blue Loctite to the male threads. Put the antenna into place so that it's positioned such that the antenna is parallel with the outside of the box. This gives it the best protection. You don't want it pointing straight forward where it can hit things. This protects it in that manner. Slide the nut from the kit over the antenna fitting, up the antenna wire, and get it started on the threads. Get it as far as you can just with your fingers. And that'll hold the antenna in place, so there's no need to put a wrench on that side. Then using the 18mm combination wrench, go ahead and just snug up that nut, make it tight. That'll hold the antenna in place. Also in the kit, in an anti-static bag, you're going to receive a radio board and radio board adapter. This is the radio board with the antenna connection. And then the pins that seat on the communication board. Now if you look at the communication board on the back side, we'll call this the front. We'll call this the back. You can see a bunch of slotted pins where these will insert. You'll also notice that we have a white outline on the board that kind of matches the shape of the communication board, or I'm sorry, the radio board. Just carefully insert those pins into the communication board so that they align, and then just gently press that onto the board so that it's fully seated. Next, take the antenna connection. In the case of this 900 megahertz, it threads into place. If it's a 2.4 gigahertz, it's a little button connection that just presses into place. Get that started on there. Leave it a little loose just at first so that we can position it once we get the board back into the monitor. Go ahead and put the communication board back into its receptacle there and press that firmly into place. It looks like it's going to be best on this one if the coax faces towards the back. So face that towards the back. And then go ahead and reseat that. Okay, at this point, go ahead and plug the communication plug back into place. Make sure that all wires are tucked in where they should be so that when we get to the point of putting the lid back in, we don't want to pinch the wires anywhere between the box and the lid that could, one, create wire damage, or two, create a path for water to get in. Now when we put the lid back on at this point, pull up on those wings where the ribbon cable goes just to release that little latch. On the ribbon cable, there's a contact side and a non-contact side. The dark green side is the contact side. You'll notice on the opposite side there's a little piece of plastic over the side covering the contacts. The dark green side should go against the front side of the board, like this. Insert that fully, and then while holding it there, just go ahead and press that clip down firmly, just like that. And then go ahead and again, checking the wires one last time to make sure there's no pinch potential. Go ahead and put the lid back on. The ribbon cable is just going to lay across the top of the boards and fold back upon itself. No Loctite on the lid screws. It is sealed by a plastic washer underneath the head of the screw here, and then the O-ring on the back side of the lid. Then go ahead and firm those screws back up to retain the lid. Go ahead and snug those all up. A bit of a crisscross pattern to make sure we get a nice flat seating of the lid. Once that's done, just kind of double check around the lid, make sure you have a pretty consistent gap around there, make sure that nothing popped through the lid that you weren't anticipating when putting that lid on, and that completes the installation of the radio kit in the monitor. Next, we'll go through the programming of both the standard wireless remote as well as the display version wireless remote. Okay, so to begin the programming procedure, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reestablish power to the monitor. You'll recall earlier in the video I disconnected the Deutsch electrical plug at the base of the monitor. So we'll just go ahead and plug that in and we should get a green power light. That'll flash momentarily while it configures the radio board we installed. Go ahead and turn the power onto the wireless remote with the button in the top right corner there. Once we have two green solid lights, then we'll begin the programming. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the wireless remote into learn mode. Basically, it's going to receive the RFID from the radio board in the monitor into the wireless remote. So they're talking on the same frequency, if you will. Generally, it's best to set this on a flat surface. That's maybe not ideal for the video, so I'll hold it here the best I can. First thing we're going to do is we're going to press and hold the left and right directional buttons at the same time for about 5 seconds. After about 5 seconds, you'll see the red lights blink. Once you see that light blink, add in the up button without releasing the left and right. You'll see those red lights blink again, and then go ahead and release all the buttons. After a couple seconds, the lights will start to flash back and forth like that continuously. We'll set that there. We're going to do the exact same button press on the monitor, watching for those red lights, left and right at the same time. Add in the up button after the red light blink. Once you see the red lights blink, go ahead and release them all. Those will flash back and forth. These will continue blinking. Once this has received the RFID from the monitor, they will automatically quit blinking. To get this out of teach mode, just press and release the down arrow button one time. The lights will quit blinking. Then it's generally best to cycle power to both items to give it a reboot. So go ahead and turn off the remote, cycle power to the monitor, turn both back on. Once they boot up, we should have wireless control. So we have all functionality from the wireless remote. If during the programming you have trouble getting the RFID to transfer to the remote, sometimes it's best to do a reset on the radio board to put everything back at 0. To do that, power the handheld off. The same procedure will be true of the monitor. I'll just show you on the remote here. Press and hold the down button with the power off. Power the unit on, continue to hold that button for a couple seconds, then release it. That light will blink. The same would be done here on the monitor. Turn power off, hold the down button while powering on. It'll blink for a bit and then it'll go solid. After having done that, then go through the linking procedure I just showed you, and in many cases that will establish the link between the two. So for this linking procedure, we're going to show you how to link the wireless remote with display to the electric remote monitor. Okay, so to start the linking procedure, the first thing we want to do is we want to reestablish power to the monitor. As you recall earlier in the video, I disconnected the Deutsch plug at the base of the monitor to remove power. So we'll just go ahead and plug that back in. We'll get a green power light that goes solid momentarily. So there we have the green power light. Next, we want to power on the display remote, pressing the button on top. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this into the learn mode, basically put it in a mode where it can receive the RFID from the monitor. On this unit, what we'll do is we'll press and hold the button below the word menu. We'll hold that until you see the display switch, about 5 seconds. Okay, once you see the display change, go ahead and release the button. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to press and release the menu button until we get a button that says RFID Learn. Just press and release the button directly beneath that. You'll see setting default RFID, and now it's waiting for the new RFID, so it's waiting to get it from the monitor. We'll set that up here so you can see it. Now next on the monitor, we're going to press and hold the left and the right buttons at the same time until you see the red lights blink. Once you see those red lights blink, while still holding those two buttons, add in the up arrow button. So we just saw the lights there. We'll add that in for about 2 seconds. We'll see the lights blink again. Go ahead and release them all. Those will start to flash. And you'll notice that the remote says programming new RFID, programming complete. So it received the RFID from the monitor. Now to take this out of teach mode, just press and release the down button one time. That'll take it out of teach mode. And then it's generally best to do a power cycle on both units. So we'll power that down. We'll disconnect the Deutsch plug. We'll plug it back in, so we'll just give everything a reboot. Power that back up. Currently it says no link, and it just switched to linked. So we have a link between the two, which should give us wireless functionality from the remote. Now in some cases the RFID transfer doesn't take place immediately, and you may try to go through it a couple times. If this happens, power down both units. I'll show you on the remote here. The procedure is the same for the monitor. But doing this procedure, press and hold the down button while powering the unit on. That'll reconfigure the radio both in here and here, and it kind of just sets everything back at 0 to put it at a new starting point. And then go back through the linking procedure I just showed you. In most cases, this resolves any linking problems you may have. After having performed this installation and the programming, if you run into any difficulties or have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. All of our contact information is at tft.com, and you're looking for the technical service group.